techniques.
Okay.
Okay, basically there are 4 types of modularization techniques are there. First one is macros. Second one, subroutines. Third one includes. Fourth one, function modules. Okay, so macros, subroutines include function modules. So these are different kinds of modularization techniques. So now what are these modularization techniques in the sense? If you have any idea of C programming, there is something called functions in C programming. Whenever the code is repeating,
Yeah.
we are calling the functions, correct? The same way, macros, subroutines include function modules. These are having a block of code. In case you need to repeat the code again and again, you can call the macro or subroutine include or function module based on your requirement. Okay. So these macros are obsolete now. SAP is not nobody was using these macros. Macros are obsolete. So the disadvantage of macros is you cannot debug the code. So in interview you will get a question like what is a macro? So now macro means you can say macro is a it's like a block of code where we can call it into the main program. But these macros are obsolete. The disadvantage is we cannot debug the code inside the macro. Okay?
Yes, sir.
The next concept is subroutines. Now, so we'll start with the subroutines. Now let us create a program where I will create some subroutine. Generally how we will do a program, I just want to write the program to add 2 numbers. Okay, it's very simple program. I just want to tell you what is the subroutine concept. So I'll just write a small, very small program here. So I'll give parameters num1 type I, num2 type I, data sum type I, sum is equal to num1 plus num2, write sum. This is a simple program to make sum of the 2 numbers, correct? Now how to write this program using a subroutine? Actually, do you know from which step the program execution will start? I'll save it here. Check, activate. See, these 2 parts are there, no? Parameters and data. These will comes under the data declarations. Now your program execution will start from here. Number 1 and number 2, it will put in sum. So when I execute here, what will happen? Number 1, number 2 came. I'll give 1 here, 2 here. I'll do /h. I'll go in a debugging and F8. Okay. So now after report, where your cursor is coming? Your cursor directly coming to the sum is equal to num1 plus num2. Your program execution will start from here. Okay. So it's
Yes,
making the sum, it's writing the sum. Fine. Now how to write the program, write the same program using subroutine. The keyword to write a subroutine is perform. Perform is a keyword to write a subroutine. After perform, you can give any name. Say perform do underscore sum. You can give this. This is your own name. You can put your name also. Do underscore sum. Give any name. Double click on this perform. Do sum. Double click on this do sum. Then what it was saying? The subroutine do sum is not existing. Shall I create it? Click on yes. Click on main program. Continue. Then what's happening here? This block is created for you. Correct?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So now what you do? Instead of writing these two steps here, I'll put these two steps in this block. So when you execute the program, my cursor will come here. Perform do sum. Whenever the cursor sees this perform statement, it will come to the form do sum. It will execute the steps here, and then it will come out of the perform. Suppose I can also say like this: perform WRITE write sum. I'll double click. So a write sum was created, form write sum and end form. I'll write the sum here. Now how will be the flow? The flow will be, the cursor will first come to the perform do sum. The cursor will come here. Whenever the cursor see here, it will try to execute the code inside this do sum. It will execute this step. Once it is executed, it will go here once again. Perform write sum. Whatever the code is there in this, it will execute. Here of course I have written only one line of code. But real time, what will happen? There will be so many lines, number of 100 lines of code or more than that in each subroutine. Okay?
Okay.
So this is called a subroutine. Subroutine means perform and corresponding form and end form. This perform statement and form and end form statement together called as a subroutine.
Yes, sir.
So now I'll execute this program and debug, and I'll show you what's happening, how the cursor movement will be. Now where the cursor is going? Perform do sum.
Perform do sum.
When perform do sum is, when perform do sum is coming, then I'll press F5. Where the cursor is going? Form do sum. The cursor is going inside the form do sum. Number 1 is already given in the parameters. Number 2 also given in the parameters. Number 1 is 4. Number 2 is 5. As of now, sum is 0. After this step, what will happen to sum? Sum will become 9. The cursor is coming out of the perform now. Now where the cursor is going?
Right. Perform write sum.
Perform write sum. Cursor went here. Whenever it sees this statement, it will come here. What is there in the sum? 9. It will write 9. So after this, no more thing is there. So it will print it. So this is the flow. Now, some important points regarding the subroutines. Here, after this end form, I'll say write psi u line. What is psi u line? Any idea?
Underline.
Underline which one?
Underline. Yes. Psi u line will give you an underline. Okay. But where I have written this? After the end form. How the cursor flow will be? Cursor will come here.
First,
After that it will come here.
yeah.
And when it will go here?
Then after returning some.
No, actually the thing is, if I check, see, this statement, program does not know what is this statement. Don't write any statement after end form.
Excuse me,
This is
sir.
end form. The last line is end form, correct?
Sir.
Don't write any line after end form. If you give like this, if I check it, what will happen? See, it will give a message, error message. Statement is not accessible because you have written this statement after the end form. Instead of this, you can give the statement here. Okay?
Middle of the
Your voice is
Excuse me, sir.
very low. I think somebody was. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, this is Javed, sir.
Yeah, Javed, tell me.
Hello. Sir, I've just now
Yeah,
joined,
yeah.
sir. I am not able to get what are you telling?
Fine. Javed,
Sir,
the thing is,
this is what,
this is a
sir?
very, very small program. You are able to
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, see, this is very small program to add two numbers. Okay.
Okay. You have written it
So,
now, sir?
then, yeah, I have written it. What we are doing, this is something called modularization technique. There are four types of modularization techniques are there: macros, subroutines, includes, and function modules. So macros are obsolete because macros does not go for a debugging. Like by using macros, we cannot debug the code. The
What
next
are these
concept
four
is
called as, sir?
modularization techniques.
Modularization techniques. Okay, sir.
These four called modularization techniques. If you have an idea of C programming, it is just like functions in C programming.
All these four. Yeah.
Yeah, all the four are something like functions in C programming.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now let us see the program. So I have taken two numbers in the parameter and one sum in the variable. So then what I need to do, for the subroutine, the keyword is perform. Double click on do
Okay,
sum. So then what will happen? A form do sum end form will be created. There you write it, two numbers, add two numbers and put it here. And after that perform write sum, you put perform is the keyword for subroutine once again. You can give any name after perform. So I have given write sum. Double click on that. In that I have given write sum. Already sum was done here. Total already we have done and put it in the variable sum. I am writing here. Okay. This is very very basic Funda program. So what I am saying is, please make a note. Whatever statement you write after the end form, program cannot access the statement. So please make a note. Any executable statement written after end form is not executable. Any executable statement which is written after end form which is written after end form is not accessible. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now let us I will do one more small program. So here what I will do, I will create a parameters. MATNR type Mara MATNR. Here I will declare work area data, work area type Mara. I will write select single star from Mara into work area where MATNR is equal to P underscore MATNR. Here also I will give P underscore MATNR parameters. If size sub RC is equal to 0, what is this if size sub RC equal to 0?
It can.
Yesterday we have discussed.
Yes, sir.
Like before this statement
Yes, sir.
executes.
The above statement is successfully executed, sir. If the size of is 0.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So that means above statement for size sub RC is what? This select query. Right?
Yes.
If the select query is executed successfully and data found inside the database table, then what I am doing, I am saying write work area MATNR, work area ERNAM, work area MATKL. So I am writing some 3 fields. This is a normal program. Now same program how can we do? By using subroutines. Perform, give any name. I will give get data. Double click on this, click on yes. The select query I will put here. Okay, and then the next thing, perform write data. So whatever the writing technique is there, no, that writing I will put it here. So now see, cursor will go here first, perform get data. It will execute this select query, and then cursor will go here, perform write data, and it will execute these lines of code. Okay, so that is how your flow will be. So now is it clear, like how to use the performs? I think it's clear for you, correct? Now one more thing, if you declare a data on the top of the program, the data is called global data. If you declare a data inside the subroutine, that means form and end form inside the subroutine, then that data is called a local data. For example, I will say here data count type I will declare one variable count. Here what I will do, count is equal to 1. I'll put some value in this. Here I'll say write count. Then what will happen?
Count.
Is it will print the count?
Count.
No, sir.
Error. It's not defined the count.
Yes. So what I meant to say is,
Count is defined
if you
in.
declare data
yeah.
on the top of the program. Yeah, if you declare work area on the top of the program, because you have declared this on the top of the program, this is a global for the program.
Yes, sir.
If you go to any subroutine,
Yes,
all the subroutines know what is the work area. But count means count is specific to this subroutine. Only inside this subroutine, count is valid. Once the cursor is come out of the subroutine, that means once the cursor is come out of this part of code, here count is unknown. Okay, I'll save it. I'll check. When I check, see what error it's giving. Count is unknown here. Now, next point. A subroutine can call another subroutine.
Yes.
Now here what I'm doing, perform get data I'm doing. What I will do, instead of writing perform write data here, I will put perform write data here.
Okay,
Now tell me how the cursor movement, it will go here, it will come here, it will execute this, it will put count equal to 1, then it will go to this, and once it sees the perform write data, it will come to the form write data and try to execute the code in between this. Now what do you think, is it count is valid now?
valid, sir.
No, in SAP it's not valid, still it's not valid. So now if I click on check, count is not valid, it's unknown, count is still unknown.
Why?
Okay, in some other programming languages, some programming languages I know where the parent function data is accessible in the child, but it is not something like that. If you declare a variable inside the form, only you can access in the particular form. You cannot access the data in the other form, even though other form is calling inside this. Remember.
Okay.
Okay, so whatever data you declare inside the form and end form, that is called a local data. Whatever data you declare at the top of the program is called global data. Global data is accessible throughout the program. Local data is valid only within the form and end form. Till this point, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then the next thing, I want to pass the local data of this particular form. That means count, something is there in the count. I want to pass this count to write data. Okay, how to pass? Please make a note. To pass the data from one subroutine to another subroutine, we will use the keywords using, changing and tables.
What
So these are
another?
the three keywords: using, changing. You can look at the desktop. Using, changing and tables. So again, tables keyword is obsolete. Don't try to use the tables. Tables keyword, it is obsolete again. Okay. So only we are
What do you
using
mean by obsolete,
and
sir?
changing. Obsolete means now
Sir?
it's not using. In the previous versions it was using. Hello.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, you are able to hear me, right? Obsolete
Yes, sir.
means what I'm saying, in the previous versions of SAP, actually SAP came up in around 1980s or 1970s. Okay.
Okay,
At
sir.
that time, what happened? SAP is just like a package, and the disadvantage of SAP is unable to support the web GUI. You know what is the web GUI? HTML pages.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so at that time, what's happening? Only the disadvantage of SAP is it is unable to support the web GUI. Unless other than that, SAP is very strong in the market. So now what the
Okay.
people, SAP people has decided, slowly they are moving towards the supporting web GUI. That means through internet you can access that kind of thing they want. Through
Yes.
HTML they want to access. So when they are going in that approach, what's happening? Some keywords they are restricted. Don't use those keywords. All these changes are came because to minimize that advantage, to moving towards a web GUI and object oriented approach. Now SAP already moved towards the object oriented approach. Okay.
Okay.
Object oriented
Okay.
means oops, any idea? Anybody has an idea of oops ABAP or not oops ABAP, any C++ or something, object orientation concept or
Yeah,
something.
C++
Have you
and
heard at
Java.
least? Yeah, have you
Yeah, sir,
heard
C++
at least? Okay,
and
that's
Java.
okay. Yeah, C++ and Java mostly object oriented approach. Now SAP also slowly going towards, and it's almost there with the object oriented approach now. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir.
in this
Sir,
process what happens?
now
Yeah,
we should not use this macros and
yeah.
tables
Now macros are not in use.
keywords.
Now the table keywords also not in use. But option is available. That's what
Now,
I'm saying.
now, right
See,
now we are discussing. Right now we are discussing subroutines, no sir?
yeah. Right now we are discussing subroutines. In the subroutines, if you want to
Okay, sir.
transfer data from one subroutine to another subroutine, these are these are the keywords.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
These are specific to subroutines. These are having no relation with includes. These are having no relation with the function modules. Only for subroutines, these keywords are applicable.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Fine. So now what I want to do in this subroutine, there is a local data is there. The local data is count. I want to pass this count from form get data to form write data. So what I will do, I will say here using count, and here I will say using count, count, and here I will say count. Previously when I write count here, what it said? It said I don't know what is a count, correct?
Yes, sir.
But now let us see.
Count is unknown.
Now it is known. See, syntactically correct. Why it is syntactically correct? Because you are passing this value, count value, to the subroutine. Save it, check it, activate, and execute. Give some material number. The material number details, and count is 1. 1 is also printing. Okay.
1. Yes, sir.
And now using please make a note. Please make a note. The parameters are the variables which were passed along with the perform statement are called actual parameters. Okay.
With the statement of all the actual parameters.
Now the next point, please make a note. The variables which were written along with the form statement, form FORM, form statement is called formal parameters. In the next point, you can also make a note. Actual parameters, actual parameter names should be different than formal parameters. Actual parameters names can be, you write, not should be. Actual parameter names can be different than formal parameters. But it should pass in the same order. But they should pass in the same order. But they should pass in the same order. What I'm going to say is, see, perform write data using count I have written, correct? This is the count. Count is a variable which is written along with the perform statement.
Perform.
So this is actual parameter or formal parameter?
Actual parameter.
Actual parameter. So here I have written this count along with the form. So here this is a formal parameter.
Formal.
And I am
Yes.
writing the formal parameter. What I am saying, the name of the actual parameter can be different than the formal parameter. So here I don't give the count, I will give some num, and here I will say write num. So whatever the count value is there, that count value will come to num. Name can be different. You can have different name as an actual parameter. You can have different name as a formal parameter. Okay, I'll execute the same and show it to you what's happening. So here, see, still one is coming, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So here the name can be different. Here the name can be different. Actual parameters can have different name than the formal parameters, but order should be same. For example, here I am passing count. Here I also want to pass SCI REPID. What is SCI REPID?
Program name.
Current program name. This variable, this is a system variable which stores the current program name. Current program name is
Test.
test underscore 026. Okay, here I will say num comma prog prog. Here I am giving SCI repeat, but this value I am capturing in prog.
Yes.
I will also say here prog. Now activate this. And execute. Okay. So like this, there may be number of actual parameters. There may be number of formal parameters. The names may be different. Here count may be there. Here num may be there. Here SCI repeat may be there. Here program will be there. Names may be different, but order should be the same. Whatever there in the count, that will come to num. Whatever there in the SCI repeat, that will come to program, and so on. Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Is there some problem?
Who is that?
Vinod?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
I don't have any problem.
Vinod, the other people has came, like Ram and others?
Hello. Sir.
Hello, Vinod?
Yes, sir.
Ram and others are came, Ram, Harish, Mahesh, these people. The next batch people has came, is it?
Yeah, sir. They came.
Yeah, okay, fine. So we'll conclude it, this session we'll conclude it firstly and we'll join the next session. Fine, so these are,
Okay,
this
sir.
is the difference between actual parameters and formal parameters. Got it, right?
Formal parameters. Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is the difference between actual and formal parameters?
Get the
Fine, so yeah, because we got delayed
Sir?
today, we'll stop it today here. Yeah, tell me. Who is this? Javed?
Sir? Yeah, sir.
Yeah, Javed, tell me.
Sir, now these count and size REPID are actual parameters, right, sir?
Yeah, these are actual parameters. These
Sir?
are formal parameters. These
What
are
are these
formal
called as, sir?
parameters.
Num and these are formal.
Formal parameters.
These are formal
Okay.
parameters. Okay. This name here, the name is count. Here the name can be different, but position should be the same. If two are here, that means you should mention two parameters here also. If you give a single one, then it's wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. So we'll conclude here.
So tomorrow we have class, sir?
So which one?
Tomorrow we will.
Yeah,
Tomorrow we have class, sir?
Yeah, tomorrow we'll meet at the same time.
Means from 4 hours.
4, sir?
So, but please, yeah, 4 o'clock. But please make sure that we'll be available at 4 or 4:15. Okay,
Okay, sir.
at the max.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So yeah,
So you have discussed only 2
Yeah.
programs, sir, today?
Yeah.
yeah, only this. That's it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, okay, sir.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
So Chetan, Javed, and Santosh.
Yes, sir.
If you want, you can be there. Otherwise, you can leave the meeting. There will be another session in which Vinod will be continuing, and Ram, Harish, and Mahesh, they also should need to be joined.
Okay, sir. What is that session, sir? For them, what?
Actually, that is regarding some smart forms. That is
Okay.
something else, like some other concept.
Okay, sir.
You will cover it for us later, no, sir?
Yeah, for you will cover it. But Vinod wants to complete his course somewhat faster, so he's attending that. Okay.
No. It's better we leave.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you can.
Stop.